Well, good afternoon. You haven't heard from me in a while, but I thought I would give you a little update. Things are winding down in the garden. It's almost the end of September. Uh, the tomatoes are growing the way tomatoes think they should, since they are really truly a vine, and they're all hanging down over the side, which is fun. Um, Things up here have got a little crowded because we brought the peppers back today. Um, the poblanos and the two bell peppers are back up here. I need to rearrange things. Um, these are the Tanya's pink potted beans, and as you can see, they are actually kind of pink. Oh, and there's quite a few on here today. Um, well, 3. Yeah, there might be more. I'll have to look better later. There's another one. Yep. So I'm still harvesting beans. The bush beans are now doing a little better than the pole beans. They're um, they're really starting to go. But anyway, this is a little bit crazy, but it's been a good learning year for me, and I need to get out and do more. Hello, Aoife. But I've been writing more, so that's given me something else to do. The puppies, just in the last few days, decided that the popcorn plant was a delightful chew toy, so it's now on the table where they can't get it, but it's looking pretty sad. It's gotten much colder here. The temperatures at night have gotten down in the 40s, which is, much cooler than it usually is this time of year. So I think maybe we are headed for an early frost. So I keep hoping it's going to warm up and we're going to have a little bit of time to get some stuff in the ground, though I am so far behind on that too. The garden in the back is vastly overgrown. And I really can't do anything about that until the hyacinth bean dies back. I opened the fence here mainly because the dogs eat the grass, and until I can pull the whole fence down and mow it, I need something to do in there. And luckily they are just eating the grass. I harvested some beans this morning. Aoife just got a tomato right off the vine. Oh well. Yeah, I don't think they're getting enough sun because that one's cat-faced to start with, but it doesn't, I think they're both cat-faced. But she got one of these little ones out here, just as green as it could be. But what I brought you when I came all the way out here for was to show you the hyacinth beans. This is enormous. It's one plant, planted in a pot, though I'm sure the roots have gone through into the ground. It is incredible. I mean, it just took over everything. It's so wild. And I haven't seen many bees lately, but there is a bumblebee flying in here. For those who ask, the hyacinth beans are edible, but they have to be really treated because they are toxic when they're not like boiled to death or something. I'm not exactly sure. I read the instructions. It was too complicated for me to even want to consider it, but there's a lot of them. I pulled a carrot today. I planted those carrots back in May, I pulled one, and it was a carrot. Not a big carrot, but you know, a carrot nonetheless. So I should probably pull the rest of them and or plant new ones. I keep saying that, but I haven't done it yet. Yep, so this is the melon bed. There are still watermelon. I pulled two the other day because they had completely dried up the stems, but they weren't ripe, so it was pointless. I mean, they wouldn't have gotten ripe anyway. So basically the watermelon has died. The Armenian cucumber melons have died. Lima beans, like I said, they just don't fill out as much as I think they should. I have to buy real seeds next year instead of just planting the ones from the bags of dried beans I got. I mean, there's a few still, but they're just not thick. I don't know. I should talk louder probably. I don't see, oh, there's a few small green beans on there. Maybe they'll grow some more. There's a split cherry tomato. Hey, who wants it? That's why I picked one, because I've been giving them the little ones. The cucamelon is pretty much gone. Probably get some volunteers next year. These tomatoes are ones I planted from suckers. There's a lot of small babies, but they need staking, and it's just hard. The cotton continues to be lovely. It's got bolls on it. I need to pick some more of them. So I pulled the melons out and I planted shelling peas, and they're doing quite well. It's starting to rain on me. This is what's left of the bean trellis. It gets thinner every day, but it's still making beans, and they're getting to be quite big, which I actually am letting them go a little bit longer than I was for the purpose of having a larger bean to cook and freeze. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring a bucket out. There's a lot of them. So that'll be, and you know, some of the scarlet runner beans are they're still trying to make beans too. There's a lot. I picked beans yesterday. This isn't even a fraction of what I'm seeing right now. But we're keeping it together. I've had some dragon tongue bush beans. That's what they look like. And they're good, but I haven't gotten enough to make a meal just of them, which is sad. That one can wait. This one, these can come off. So, I mean, because I'd like to see if there's a difference in the flavor of the different beans. The ground cherry's done. I need to cut it off. The kajaris are pretty much done. There's an orange one, but it's got holes, and the last one we picked up was just, yeah, they look like that. We cut it open, it was just mush. So I moved the tomato pots into, up, because it'll make it easier. All that grass was just too much to deal with, but they're starting to ripen. One's here, and then one is on the bench, and one is over here on the pad. So the French fillet beans, there's also some here that need picking. I think I'm gonna have green beans for dinner. All these, a few of these and a few of those and stuff like that. The cantaloupe put on a few fruit, but it never did anything to speak of. I don't show the flowers very often, but I'm going to show you this. The moon vine got so heavy it took down the support, which was a big metal welcome sign. We tried to put it back up and it was not, we just couldn't. It's just too heavy. So it's still blooming pretty, but eventually I'm going to have to cut it back and try to salvage what's underneath it. The Tithonia has pretty much died out. But the birds will eat the seeds, so that's always a good thing. More volunteer tomatoes. These are getting ripe at a rapid rate. I have buckets inside. I really have to do something with them. Even if it's just put them in the freezer. Those cucumbers probably aren't going to do anything because it's not warm enough. These tomatoes are just going crazy. Now, here are the other peas, the peas we planted back in August, I guess. Yep. So we have snow peas on this trellis. They're supposed to be yellow, so they're correct. Interestingly, the ones on this side have fruit. The ones on this side don't. These are the snap peas, and there are two varieties. There's one that's green, like that, and then one that's purple. And they're both starting to put on a few things. There's a few. I guess we could make stir fry, but they're over my head tall, so that's always fun. The okra is growing. It's got buds. It's not blooming. Don't know if it will. Yeah, see that one? That bud. Oh, the bud fell off, but there's an okra. So I'll see if it grows. And yeah, I can try it in a day or so, hopefully. This is just insane, and I'm going to cut it. I mean, they're pretty and all, but they're too big for this bed, and they're choking out the artichokes, and I'd rather have artichokes. That bed back there is still empty after I pulled out all the broccoli, and I still need to get some more dirt. So that's where the garden is right now. Tomorrow things are happening, not in the vegetable garden so much as in the yard. There's a tree coming down, and all of this grass is coming out of the flower bed, and it's raining. You can hear it. I have landscape fabric that will go in to hopefully finally get rid of the weeds between now and next year. And next year I'm going to incorporate this space into my vegetable garden, and because a lot of what I'm growing is actually lovely, and I think it'll be just fine. So I'm going to go in and get out of the rain, and I'm glad you were here with me this afternoon, and thanks for watching.